I'm 3 days into a 12-day British Isles cruise on Regal Princess, and so far, so good. The ship's 11 years old but still in great shape, and love it or hate it, features many amenities that were later removed from newer Royal Class ships, like the sea walk and an impressive adult pool area that spans the entire width of the ship. Since we've had cooler weather, there are several amenities glaringly missing from Regal that are common on most other cruise lines. So far, we've stopped in Cobh, Ireland and Holyhead, Wales, which were dramatically different ports, to say the least. Stay tuned for first impressions of my British Isles cruise on Regal Princess. Hey cruisers, Andrew from Ottawa, Canada here. Welcome to the Chill Cruiser, where I review cruise ships from a chill perspective, sharing tips on how to save time, money, and grief on your cruise vacations. It's day 15 of my 77-day epic European cruise adventure, and I'm on board Regal Princess for a 12-day British Isles cruise. We visited our first port of Cobh, Ireland yesterday, and we're anchored in Holyhead, Wales today, with many ports ahead in Northern Ireland, Scotland, and England. I boarded the ship with a friend in Southampton, England, which was a smooth process once I arrived in the city, but it was very chaotic getting there from London, which has an impressive metro and rail network, but I found the stations hard to navigate and not very accessible. I've never had to lug my suitcase up and down so many stairs while traveling. I took the train to Southampton from Waterloo Station, which is the UK's largest train station in terms of size. Even though it has 24 platforms, I was shocked to discover there's only one bathroom that's extremely hard to find and only accessible by stairs. There's an accessible bathroom, in quotes, outside the station on the street, but you have to find a staff member to let you in. The trains were comfortable but didn't have any luggage racks that I could find, so you had to improvise storing your suitcase. I had this impression that Europe's transit systems were vast, efficient, comfortable, and easy to navigate, and that has definitely not been my experience so far in England or the Netherlands. Back to the ship though, Regal Princess is one of the two original Royal Class ships and is just over 10 years old. After sailing on several newer Royal Class ships like Enchanted and Sky Princess over the last year, it's nice to see the features that they've removed from the newer ships, like the Skywalk, a larger adult pool area, the watercolor fantasy water show, and the grand staircase leading from the Deck 7 shopping area to the casino. There are also several amenities that survived the Royal Class evolution, like the Enclave, which is a very chill-friendly thermal suite available for an extra fee. Two amenities that are glaringly missing from this and most Royal Class ships are an indoor pool and an indoor observation lounge, which I think many would appreciate since the weather's been on the cooler side most of this cruise so far. On my last cruise on Holland America's Rotterdam, there was a large pool with a retractable roof and a beautiful indoor observation lounge, both of which were very popular throughout the entire trip. Regal was my introduction to Princess cruises a decade ago, so I have a lot of memories on this ship, including an amazing Love Boat disco deck party that to this day is still the best deck party I've ever experienced at sea. It involved the full production show cast, the entire activities team, and the party band, all in Love Boat costumes and an elaborately choreographed show. Princess unfortunately canceled this version of the party, which is a shame because it was so well done and a ton of fun. I also remember being wowed by their production shows like Fiera, which is actually still playing on the ship. It was supposed to be on stage last night, but was canceled for some mysterious reason, so I'm hoping they'll reschedule it later in the cruise. Based on what I've heard and experienced on older Princess ships lately, I'm expecting it will be something that Princess has scaled back. My friend and I are in a mini-suite, which is nicely appointed but a bit dated. I'm kicking myself because I didn't notice that the casino reservations team booked us in a room under the Lido deck, which means we can hear a ton of noise. I've never actually heard so much noise coming from so many directions in one cruise cabin. We're also located under a large platform opposite the Skywalk that extends 50 or more feet above our balcony, so our view is partially obstructed. I would definitely not recommend booking a room anywhere on Deck 15 or on either side of the Skywalk platforms. My friend has been impressed with the food throughout the ship, including the main dining room. Our experience in the steakhouse was a bit disappointing compared to other Princess ships. My steak was overcooked both times the kitchen attempted to cook it, but the management team was very apologetic and asked us to come back later in the cruise. Nightlife on the ship has also been a bit disappointing. The piazza has not been full of much life or energy most times we've been there. They hyped up an ABBA dance party on the first night, which ended up being a bust. One highlight of the cruise so far has been the Trawlermen, which is a folk band they featured on the main stage on the second night. They performed a variety of foot-stomping, Irish, and rock classics with a folk twist, and it was a great show. If you ever have an opportunity to see them, don't miss it. Despite some minor disappointments, we're still enjoying the cruise. That's in no small part because of the friendliness of the crew. We've been very impressed with the service and know many crew members by name already. We enjoyed our first port stop yesterday in Cobh, which is a pretty town in the southeastern part of Ireland. It's famous for being the last stop on the Titanic before it started crossing the Atlantic, so there's a nice museum at the old White Star Line ticket office. They walk you through the experience of the 123 people who boarded the ship on tender boats from Cobh, including what their cabins were like. Your ticket has the name of an actual passenger from Cobh, and at the end, you find out whether they survived the sinking. Cobh also features St. Colman's Cathedral, which is the tallest church in Ireland and hard to miss wherever you are in town. Although we opted to have a low-key day and stay in Cobh, there's a rail station right in front of the port that you can take to the nearby city of Cork, which offers even more ways to experience the beauty of this part of Ireland. Today we're docked in Holyhead, Wales, which is a significantly quieter port with not a lot to do within walking distance. You also need to budget over an hour to tender to and from the port. If you're planning to cruise here, I would definitely recommend doing a shore excursion or just staying on the ship and relaxing. Hit subscribe so you don't miss a beat from the rest of my adventure on Regal Princess and 2 other ships from 2 different cruise lines in the Mediterranean. Speaking of shore excursions, they can be a very expensive part of the cruising experience, but there is a way to save money as you explore the various ports on your cruise. You can find out how, along with other valuable tips in this video, with my top 10 ways to save time and money after 40 cruises. Thank you for watching, and happy cruising.